Hi, I'm Timothy Mitchell with Mimaki USA. Mimaki has released a product called TRAPIS. Loosely, it stands for Transfer Pigment System. Transfer Pigment System. What Mimaki has done, in conjunction with Coldenhove and with Klieverik and Monti Antonio, is we have built an end-to-end workflow in which you can now print on natural fibers, cottons, linens, rayon, nylon. So obviously a lot more than just natural fibers. You can take untreated, uncoated fabrics right off the shelf. Go down to Joann Fabrics if you like, or Michael's, and say, I like that, and I'd like to make a chair out of it. You can do that with this particular technology. You see, what we did is Coldenhove built a paper that has the treatment built right into the paper. And there's only one paper. It's one paper weight. You just load it into a Mimaki printer. In this case, it is a Mimaki TS330-160. It uses a special pigment ink. It's a wide gamut ink, so the color spectrum is fantastic. It prints beautifully and easily, just like Mimaki dye sublimation printers do. The only difference is it is pigment-based ink, but it is still using a paper-based transfer system. Now, one of the huge advantages of printing to paper versus printing direct to fabric is that paper's easy. You set the head height, you do your alignments, you have one major profile, which is dialed in perfectly by an expert color profiler. You have one paper, and then you just send your creative files. It prints quite a bit faster than most direct-to-fabric solutions. So your speed is increased, but also, and this is key, the amount of ink you use is quite a bit less. In some cases, as much as 50%. Because you're not soaking all of that fabric down into or ink into the fabric directly, and then having it go into the trough and then going into a waste container. No. You're putting that ink right down onto the paper. And the paper is very receptive to that ink. And you end up with a very heavy, beautiful coverage, just like I have here behind me. Then you take that roll, which is real easy to print. You can print right from the pinch rollers and waste almost nothing. You take that roll and you bring it to either a Monti Antonio or a Klieverik, which has been specially engineered as a calendered press to allow you to transfer this ink deeply into whatever fabric you choose, with a specific emphasis on natural fibers. But we've done much more than just natural fibers. We have a huge selection of things that we've been testing. And very surprisingly, the breadth of materials is wide. Bamboo, for example. Tried that. That looked great. Here's a selection which is nylon. You know, if you normally wanted to do a nylon workflow, you'd have to set up everything for nylon and just print nylon. We take nylon of all types and run it straight to the transfer press from the paper. Here's another selection. This is cotton, but it's a cotton blend. It's half hemp, half cotton. Print directly to it. That would be quite a bit of work. With us, we print to the paper, let the calender press handle the fabric. It imprints it deeply into the material, and now you have a completely finished, washable, durable product that you can make into a chair, or curtains, or a dress. The sky's the limit, really. Because what we're finding with this technology is, that's Lycra. Ooh, that looks really nice. That's Lycra. Lycra looks great on this printer. That's another one we can print to. We can print to wool. We can print to rayon. We can print to all sorts of things that could go into apparel. They could go into decor. They could go into technical printing. Here's another Lycra. Looks fantastic. Oh, here's one. Here's a wool knit. Wool. Cotton, linens, wools. The TRAPIS system is a true innovation in the genre, and it's easy. The entry price is the cost of this printer, and then the specialty Monti Antonio or Klieverik, which, by the way, can also double doing dye sublimation. So you can use it for the TRAPIS, in which you put extra pressure down, and then you just go to standard pressure running it as a sublimation printer. And you can do it with a table and do piecework. What TRAPIS does is it opens the door for someone here in the United States to do almost everything in-house with short runs, almost no waste, quick turnover, no need to go get specialty coated fabrics, no need to send them out. For that matter, you have a selection which is wide as the local fabric district will give you. Now, of course, there's probably some fabrics that won't work all that well. But we found in most cases, you would be surprised how many things work very well. And we're just at the beginning. The process of exploring all that can be printed with this particular process really is untouched. We've narrowed it down to focus on cottons and linens and predictable fibers and practical stuff that normally is done with direct. But we're finding it's much broader than that. And you can turn it around quickly. And you have almost no waste. And you have an incredible environmental footprint because you're not using a bunch of water. You don't have a treatment process. You don't have to send everything through a washing machine. You don't have all of this process and all of this money. It is the lowest cost of entry to get into natural pigment-based printing. There's nothing even close. The things that are close, that do a similar type of thing, that print direct, very expensive. This is affordable, it's entry level, it's brilliant, it's innovative, and it has very important savings and versatility advantages at every single step. TRAPIS. It should be very widely known. And I think if you have a creative sensibility and you want to do innovative products, you can't just, you can do like a whole room. And then you can do another room and another room in a completely different style. And everything in the room just about that you look at, you could do with this process, printing on this same paper with the same color profile, and then bring it over to the Klieverik or the Monti and have it transferred. You could do my tie or my vest or my trousers. And then you could also do the seat that I sit on or the sofa. You can do the drapes. You can do the pillows. You can do the tapestry. You can look around at all the different things you can do, and you can unify them all together. So all of your colors are very close, and everything is printed on an entirely different fabric of the customer's choice. You don't have to have walls and walls and walls of fabric everywhere that you have little remnants of because somebody wanted to do 20 yards, but you had to buy 100. Don't store all that stuff. Have the customer bring it in, very quickly run a sample to test, how it's going to look and if it meets their expectations. Chances are it will. That's only going to take you about a half an hour or less with almost no waste. And then you're in business. Then you can do a short run, you can do custom everything. The Mimaki TRAPIS process is truly a revolution in printing, in textile printing, in pigment printing. It's going to open a lot of doors to a lot of people. And right now, we're at the very beginning of the journey. Highly recommended. Look into it carefully. Come to one of our demo facilities, either in Los Angeles or in Atlanta, and see it for yourself. I think you'll be very impressed with what you see, And I think you'll recognize the possibilities of doing something that nobody else is doing. Mimaki TRAPIS, the future of transfer pigment systems.